Hello, my fine villains and lovely villainesses. Today, we're going to be going over my predictions for the November Nyx update. Well, I wanted to update more like the rework they're going to be saying here in November. But before anything, please like, share, subscribe, help a villain out. Why not? Let's get into this. Alright, so I'm going to go over this real easy, real simple, real quick, and yes, I'm going to be using the Prime instead of the regular one, but if you don't know where to get the regular one, you go into Invasion Missions, and the Infested boss, just literally keep doing him until you get all of the pieces and parts. But we're going to go into the Prime variant, because why the hell not? So as you can see, the current stats for her primarily go for shields, then armor and health. So she is a shield-based frame. Other than that, a decent amount of energy, and sprint speed really doesn't do much for me, but whatever. So her first passive ability is enemies are 20% less accurate when targeting Nyx. We're just going to go over her base stuff before anything. So, mind control lets you control one enemy. You can also increase their damage by literally shooting at them for a short period of time. Psychic bolts, you shoot out 3 darts, and when they hit enemies, they reduce their damage and speed for a set duration. This also only works for the current casted. Once you recast it, turns off. So if you cast it on one enemy and then cast it on another enemy, the new enemy is the one that gets its defenses and speed reduced. Chaos literally turns on friendly fire for all enemies and they start attacking each other. And Absorb literally has Nyx fly up into the air, and anyone shooting at her gets all the damage absorbed and then shoots it back out. You also get a damage buff. Okay, now without going over all that fun stuff, let's go back to the beginning and start with her passive. I think her passive is garbage. Gonna say that right now. This is a very garbage passive. Less accurate. Not really one of my favorite things to say. I think if they're going to do anything, in my opinion, and what they have been doing thus far with at least now 2 frames, I would say Nyx's passive should say that either it's less, with every enemy affected by her abilities, they become less accurate when targeting Nyx. 20% is but I think they can either do that or just give her a mischance, or all the enemies affected by Nyx, she gets more shields back, seeing as she's a shield-based frame. All of those would be fine, I guess, going for a as long as you keep spreading the ability. She gets better and better, or her survivability becomes better. Okay, first ability I like. It's nice. Unfortunately, I also think it's kind of garbage that you can only have one enemy. So I would say a max of 3. If they really wanted to change it, I would probably then change the augment so that you can have a max of 3 enemies running around, and you know, the damage multiplier. The duration on this thing's actually pretty good, and if you do build for duration, you'll have like someone running around with you for quite some time. So this ability, definitely they will probably change it. Shooting an enemy for like 3 seconds straight is kind of a pain in my ass, but what are you gonna do? But that's pretty much it for mind control. Don't know thoughts and opinions on that one. Psychic bolts is where I really start to think changes are going to primarily take place, because it should just be as long as you can keep casting it, or depending on how much power strength you do have, psychic bolts should definitely go from there. If they are gonna do anything, I think those two debuffs would be fine. I think they should just remove the if you do recast it feature of it, which I absolutely hate. This you recast it and then the enemies previously affected by it are no longer affected by it is kind of crap. Especially since it costs 50 energy just to affect 3 enemies. Total garbage. I think if they are going to do anything, just just make it so that it's 9, so that when I recast it, it affects more enemies, or just make it 6 and I'll be fine. The augment for this one, I think it should be something like Doom for Dagoth or Dagoth, and I say that because if her augment is like that, more cone shaped than just throw bolts at it, I think that would be a hell of a lot better, and they already had the assets to do it, so it really wouldn't do much more than anything in front of her would be completely debuffed. And then maybe, I don't know, take out the speed decrease for something else like damage vulnerability. I think that would be pretty good. Speed decrease doesn't really do much for me. If they're going to keep that, I would probably move that over to her 4th ability, actually. Chaos. Honestly, this is pretty handy, pretty nice. It's just kind of there. I do like it. I just wish it was a little bit better. If they were going to do anything and maybe give her a new passive and then put the mischance on Chaos, just because you put that on Chaos and all the enemies around you will start shooting at each other, and then just make it whenever they start targeting Nyx, it's depending on how many enemies are affected, depending on how less of a chance they are to hit Nyx. So it does feel more like a murderer in the crowd than anything. Alright, final ability, Absorb. This one I have a real tough time even figuring out how to make better. I want to say they had a absorb per second, and and the more damage you absorb, the more energy drains from you, which is kind of meh. Maybe increase that, the absorbs per second, and maybe lower the energy for that. Other than that, maybe conversion, and then the buff, give it a good 2 more seconds. I think that would be a little more useful. Maybe make it 15 seconds. I definitely made a build for her absorb. It is not what you think. I'll even show you. Alright, so this is the build that I did give her for that particular thing. And if I know what you're thinking, V, why did you put pillage on her instead of just doing the assimilate and then don't worry about it? Well, everyone likes the assimilate build, but no one says, hey V, why don't you do something else? This is basic bitch stuff. I'm sorry, it really is. You can fight me in the comments section. The basic bitch Nyx absorb build is basic. You might as well start calling it the pumpkin spice. But I like this one because, one, I get to use singularity, pulls enemies in, especially because absorb needs enemies. I just like that. And then I get the buff, and it lasts 13 seconds, but it's a gathering ability, and then I get a buff out of it. So you know what? I used it for exactly how it's supposed to be used. And then, yeah, I'm able to get the... What the hell? Well, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, no, I keep forgetting. It goes from 3 to 6. when the psychic bolts go up. But my point is, for psychic bolts, 6 bolts is nice. It's just when you're going in through the hordes of enemies, I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is, and so they definitely do need to change it. Damage vulnerability on Nyx would be nice. They could definitely put a bunch of other stuff on her, maybe even spread statuses to make her better. She's kind of in a pickle spot because her abilities are all over the place. Again, I would love to be using mind control a hell of a lot more, but for a build like this one, which is with the damage decoy, and I put in place of her 4th ability, it's nice. I might actually have to change things out just a smidge bit, like maybe instead of streamline, I could probably go for, is it a dash polarity? I don't think it is. No, it is. I was gonna say the shield recharge, just because she does have a decent, I put on her a decent amount of shields, so. But yeah, if I could have a shield recharge for her, then shields would be fine. But it kind of is what it is. It comes with the territory. What are you gonna do? Anyways, if you like this video and want to see more, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and whenever I upload, you will be the first to know. Until next time, y'all stay villainous, my friends. Take care and goodbye.